I'm Colleen Barno, and this is a short story entitled Music is for the Soul. The violin's music echoed over the vast world landscape from the rooftop of Michael Stance's boyhood home. Michael's fingers moved swiftly across the fingerboard. The fraying horse-haired bow danced in the space between the bridge and the fingerboard, teetering back and forth with the swift arm movements of its owner. Michael was teetering as well. Every night, after his parents had fallen asleep, the adolescent boy would sneak out of the house, armed with his bow and violin, and climb onto the roof. Carefully climbing out his bedroom window, Michael skillfully turned around with the skill of a tightrope walker. He grabs his violin and tucks it under his right arm, and then reaches for the bow with his left hand, dangling it from his index finger and making it swing back and forth, like the pendulum of a grandfather clock. Having walked across the rooftop in the late evening hours many times before, Michael finds his way to the peak of the roof. He sits down, violin and bow grasped together in his right hand, looking as if they are two soldiers, one fat, the other skinny, standing at attention. Being so far away from the big city, the black sky was littered with twinkling stars. The leaves of the thousands of trees in the woods nearby rustled in the soft breeze, and the crickets sang songs to one another in their own special language. On the rooftop, Michael could escape into a peaceful world that made him even more special with his music, something he had a talent for since birth. Michael Stance had been born with the twines of music lodged tight around his heart. Like a rusty barbed wire, they clutched at him. The harder he struggled, the deeper they cut. Being the child of two high school dropouts in a small rural town, Michael was deeply fraught by the demands of a world in which he felt he did not belong. Depression blanketed the boy from the time he could remember, though his parents were too careless to notice. Fortunately, unlike his parents, he had a ticket out of town, a very special ticket indeed. The moment he saw the violin and bow displayed in the beaten-up case in the pawn shop front window, Michael knew he wanted it. It was almost as if it was whispering, "I can get you out of here." A few days later, Michael walked in the front door, the bells jingling from the handle. He walked up to the counter and told the man he wanted the violin, bow, and case. He pulled out the wad of money, his parents' beer money he had stolen from the coffee tin in the kitchen without them knowing. The man took the money, went to the front window, put the violin and bow in their respective places, and handed Michael the case. Michael Stance walked out of the pawn shop, smiling for the first time in God knows how many years. Playing from the black night until the wee hours of the morning when dawn is just beginning to break, Michael Stance eventually became himself and found where he belonged. He would be eternally grateful to have found the violin, along with its bow. He was just as grateful for the ability to even remotely know how to play the instrument. In the end, the second-hand bow and violin set him free. Inside the arches of melody, the chords, and the notes, he found an expansive space where all of what he longed to become and eventually discover could fit. So Michael Stance played his violin. Every forlorn concerto, every strand of aching music was all for himself. Thank you.